Hello, welcome to part 36 of this Airbnb Clone Ruby on Rails series. And in last video, we had used rich text to show description with our HTML embedded content also. So in this video, I will focus on, let's have a look at one of the properties. No, uh, yeah, I'll focus on this part. Okay, this rating part. I might not implement this thing in this much depth. I think there was a simpler version. Let me have a look at some property which has less reviews, less rating basically. Not sure how they control it. This one. So I will implement this review system. I'll hard code all the values in this particular video and won't connect it to our backend. So if you want to do this on your own, it's completely fine, and if you want to skip this video, that's also fine. So let's start. So in this, let me have a look at how it will look on mobile. Smaller devices, it's a bit scrollable, that I won't prefer. Okay, and on much smaller devices, we don't have those detailed ratings. Okay, so anyways, for our simplicity purposes, we are focused on the mobile view, web view only. So let's start with this. First of all, it has a complete this divider, and it's at bottom of this right and left sections. So let's go to our customers also purchased. Maybe that can be one. So app views property show customers also purchased. Okay, this one. This is a section. Okay, no worries. Let me add a div below this. Okay, and what I'll do is, there was border T, this one, right? So I'll use this, but they're using section, right? So let's use this section only. What do we have? We have these reviews, but we want this to be fully spaced and not to the side of this sort of reservation or pricing that we'll use. So maybe we can copy this out and paste it here. Let's see how it looks. It does pan out, it does work. Now let's fix it a bit. Okay, let's get rid of the upper reviews. We don't want that. Refresh. Now let's fix these width. So property info, this class options is on the right. Product information, where is product information? Reviews. Okay, and details and description. Okay, I'm just checking whether it should be part of. No, it's still part of this. Okay, so let's paste it at bottom only. So it should be outside the div of property info, but we will use these classes which we are using in property info. So what we can do is we can create a div /div class this, then cut our code, paste it again, indent this correctly, and let's refresh and see. Okay, there is some issue. Yeah, this one. Let's refresh. This does look correct, good. At least the right border will get rid of this. So for that, they are using a grid. We don't need that grid. Grid column, grid rows, this grid cap, all these things we don't need. First thing this, and column span, border, right border, this we don't need all these things. Looks good. So that also means that again we can get rid of this outer div. Doesn't look that great. Let me fix our code. And instead of this comment, we want this as the top. Let's see. It does look good. Let me change screen sizes, and on other screen sizes also it looks good. So now I'll keep these things as it is. I won't focus on that right now. But now I'll focus on this part. So this again is a div. Yeah. Div, and it should have a border, right? So similar to this one, let's create a section. Sorry, border T, right? So really frustrating. We have copied the same section here, but at top we'll write reviews stats. Okay, and bottom we'll write reviews items. Review items should review stats and review item. Not sure which one is correct. Reviews heading, no, yes. Reviews stats. Okay. Now let's see how it looks. Looks good. Let's get rid of this. We'll have only one H2 reviews, and from this we'll get rid of this. Basically this H2 is for accessibility. Even if you don't create this, it's fine, because we are not focused on accessibility in this particular video right now. Now let's focus on this one again. Section this, and inside this let's directly get rid of this entire code. 3 reviews are there, space between them is this. Let's get rid of this. So we have this reviews this. We use something like this at top. So let's go to our image gallery property info. In that we had used reviews earlier. Average final count is this. Yes. So let's copy this div and directly paste it in our. That's why comments become really important when you're working on this much. By the way, we will separate these out into separate partials later on. For now, I'm keeping it like this. Or should I do it? Let's do it. It will make things a bit more clearer. Before I do that, let me paste this code here. I'll minimize this entire review section, copy this. In our properties, Will I show these reviews anywhere else? Not sure right now. So for now I'll create this directly inside property. So we'll create a partial underscore reviews dot html dot erb. Okay, let's paste this entire code here. Let's indent this correctly. And again go to here, render. We are writing embedded Ruby code render. What do we want to render? We want to render reviews, right? The path for that is inside views properties, right? So properties slash reviews. We don't write to write underscore, that is just to indicate that it is a partial. Let's refresh. It does work, it is showing something, and the reviews are also there. So it will clean up things for us basically. What is this section, by the way? We can get rid of this, we don't need this. Refresh. Yes, but the padding part is problem. We'll do one thing, we'll go to main, and in that write padding bottom 16. Yeah, looks a bit better. Now let's focus on this part. So for that we will have to increase the size here up to this much. So let's do that. And we don't want this to be clickable. If there are no reviews, for example, if there are no reviews, this case should not happen and we won't even show the reviews. So for example, let's go to one of the properties which doesn't have any reviews. This one is this one. It should not have any reviews. It has 2 reviews. They are not just showing, they are just not showing it on home page. Is there some filter for new? Not sure. Let's try this one out. No reviews yet. So in that case we are showing this kind of view. This host has 18 reviews for other places, but instead of that we are showing no reviews yet. So we should add that as part of reviews only. In that case create a section, sorry, no reviews yet, and it can be a p tag also, that's not an issue. It's similar to our this one, right? So let's go to our headline, no property info, this one, this we can use. We don't want to truncate this, that's fine. Leading 6 font 600. Let's see how it looks. Refresh. No reviews yet, but it's above this line. Why is it above this line? Because it's out of section. So let's go to our section. Refresh. Now it looks good, but there's way too much margin top. Where is it coming from? PT10 and PT16. So let's keep it PT10 across all devices. This host has, we don't want to show this information because it will be going in too much depth, and we are not sure if we will implement those things, whether where a person is, host is getting reviewed and all those things. So we won't implement this one yet. We'll just keep it like this. So again, no reviews yet. % if property, we do need to pass property, right? So pass data in render rails, pass parameter. We can mention the partial name and we can write locales this. Yes, okay. Is there anything else? We can directly mention it like this, or variable 1, variable 2, this. Okay, let's follow this convention. So we'll go to show. In that I'll write this as that this is the partial, and I'll pass our property locales and this. Okay, I think we are using this so that we can pass multiple values. Variable name should be property, and we'll pass at that property dot reviews, or I'll pass, let me think, I'll pass only I'll pass the entire property, and we'll see later on. So now we should be able to access this. If property dot reviews count yes equal to 0, then we'll show this, else end. Yeah, we are not showing this, and if it is not equals to 0, then we are showing it. So that means it is working correctly for us. Now else let's refresh. And we don't want to show these items also, but we'll focus on that later on. We have to fix this margin thing. So we have given pt10, pb10 also. It kind of looks bad compared to this, so maybe I'll add an empty star here, which they are using in here. So copy, inspect sources, no, elements, copy element. Let's refresh, looks good, and we can make it. I think the property block is creating this issue, so let's shift it to multi-line so that we can fit it in this screen. That's it, nothing else. And instead of block, let's write flags. No, display inline. Okay, what else do we have to fix? Starting padding. We can write class inline h6 w6 fill current, and what else, margin and 1. Yeah, and if we can get rid of this, something is not working. Sorry. Yeah, so this looks a bit better. Let me inspect and see what's happening. Maybe we can center it. Flex items center. Yeah, It does look better. Margin right. Okay, no worries. It does look better even if it is not. The margin is not working. It's fine. It is working. 8. Yeah, it is working. So this looks good to me. I'll keep this for now. Yes, I'll keep this for now. And is equals to 0. Keep this. Now let's go to this one. In this also I'll use this property div. We don't want this case, so again this is not required. We have already covered this. Refresh. We don't need this class. We don't need this underline and dot. I think so. Let me check. Dot is required, underline is not required. So let's get rid of this. And now we can increase the size, which is basically here. Let me inspect this so that I can understand what the size is. This is 20 by 20, so maybe h5 might work. Class h5 w5 fill current and displays inline, right? We had used inline earlier, so we can use this. Let me keep margin at the end. Refresh. It does look better, but I think we can increase size further. This is almost of the size of the cursor, and this is a bit smaller than that. Not the best way to measure it, but yeah, 2XL does look better. So in this also I'll use 2XL. Okay, and for that I'll check this. Yes, it looks better to me. Okay, so the first part has been done. Let's go here, and now we have to set this up. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 parts to this, and it looks like equals 7 or something like that. Let's try this. So for that, it should be below this. So we already have this div. Review category stats, and let's write div slash div and something like let me check if we have to use grid or what. In Flex I don't think it's better to have grid. So let's see. Grid row 4 template columns, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4 grid columns 4 gap 4. Okay, so I think this is better. Let's use this. But instead of this will use 7, and let's keep adding divs. This one can be for overall cleanliness, accuracy, check-in, communication, location, value. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I just want to check whether this grid is working correctly or not. 7. Sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 only, because 7th one has already been done. Let's refresh. It does look good, kind of working. Let me inspect to be fully sure. Yes, it is working. Things are looking good. So now let's focus on the right side first. These items, because these looks a bit, if we figure out the first one, we just have to copy paste it for the other ones. So instead of this one, let's keep cleanliness. This can be first div, or let me check what type of heading we have used. H3, 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 H2. Okay, so maybe H4 I can use for this one. Not sure if it's the best way, but let's try it out. And 4.8, let's write it as 4.8 right now. And finally the icon, which I will copy. Inspect 32. Okay, copy element. Let's see how it looks. Looks a bit good. Now let's focus on this one. Inspect. Let me see its height. Font size. Okay, it's a variable which is less than 1. So maybe we can use something like, and this one should be equals to 1 almost. Class text base, not sure if it is correct. Font size, base, and then SM. Okay, so base, let's focus on first one, text SM. Refresh. SM is good, but we want that to be almost medium. Font medium. This entire thing needs a top margin, so maybe MT4. More than that, MT6, MT8. 8 looks correct. Cleanliness is set up. 4.8. Okay. MT1 font semi-bold. I hope it is there. Semi-bold is there. We need to increase its size. Instead of base, we need LG. Okay. Yeah. LG is this one. Sorry, not this is LG. Okay. So instead of this, CSS is mostly trial and error if you are trying to copy it from somewhere, and if you do it enough times, your chances of fixing it closely increases. Basically we don't need margin top in this because we have increased the font size, which has compensated. This one we need to fix. This needs some fixing. So I'll write here class block h32 should be equivalent to 8, h8 w8 fill current and margin top 4. Let's get rid of this. Refresh, looks good. A bit more margin, maybe 6. Looks better, looks better. Great. Can I add gap color? I want to show these. Add divider between grid items in TailwindCSS. Divide width. Column divider and grid. Okay. After this you have to add it manually. Width 30, height 10. Okay, we can use divide x. Let's see, looks good. Instead of x, can we increase this further? Okay, x2. X works like this. So now we have to add a margin here. Class margin start 4, but then it affects this one, so maybe padding start 4. Yep, this looks better, but the line divider is not that crisp, so maybe this should be better. No, yeah, I'll go with this one only. 4.8 and this 4.8 and this looks better. So now we have to copy paste this. Okay, even if we had created one single item, then also it would have been a bit messy only, so let's keep it like this only. Overall we'll use later. Let's clear these out and copy paste this multiple times. 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's refresh, and now it looks much better. Yes, it does look. Now we have to change icons first. So I have always copied the element, SVG element, but in this case now we can copy the path because other properties of the SVG element will remain same. So copy element path, and this one is for second one, which is going to get confusing. So this is overall, this is cleanliness. Maybe we should name it first, accuracy. Let's say 4.8 and paste it. Once accuracy is done, we can go for check-in, inspect, copy path, check-in. That's why I mentioned in the start that you can do this on your own, but I'm still creating these videos because some of you might need help, and yeah, it's nice sometimes to follow along. Inspect, inside this SVG, let's go copy path and write communication. Let's minimize this. Communication 4.9, paste, and location, inspect, SVG, go to path, copy the path element, and for location I'll minimize this communication, change cleanliness to location, change rating just for visibility and just for testing purposes, change the path, minimize this location also, and finally what do we have? Value. Right click on the value icon, inspect, go to its path, right click, copy element, change the path, which I missed out. Yes, change the path, change cleanliness to value and maybe 4.9. Now let's go to our website, refresh. Communication is not available. Why? We might have not pasted this correctly. So inspect, copy element. Which one is communication? Oh, okay. Let's refresh. I think fill none is an issue. So let's get rid of this. Okay, in this case we need this entire switch element. So why did they do it like this? Maybe they haven't mentioned the color code correctly or something. But anyhow, we will have to do this. They haven't created this SVG correctly. So copy element. Let's paste this below. Let's reset this to our convention, to our indentation process. Enter, focusable, style, and yes, there is a stroke width mentioned separately, and in others it was part of SVG path. So let's copy this class, copy this class, get rid of this earlier SVG, paste. There's definitely issue wherever we have written this. I have added comma, so let's copy this, paste, and get rid of this comma. Refresh, and the icon is visible. Let's again go to our communication. Inside that SVG, let's get rid of the repetitive classes or styles. Block we are using fill none instead of current. Fill none. Height width we are using. Let's refresh. Yes. Stroke we can mention. Stroke current, stroke 2, let's get rid of this. Refresh, looks good. Overflow, what's for overflow? Overflow visible. Okay, so we can use this. Refresh. It looks good. Overall, it looks good. Now let's go to our overall text. That should be similar to cleanliness. So for that, we can use this one, h4. Let's create this in our top div. Overall rating. Refresh. Sorry, refresh on our page. It looks good. Now we need to set up this rating bars. So let's go to our Tailwind CSS. I won't create a separate component for, sorry, Tailwind UI. Separate template file when I'm copying this Tailwind UI, because you can go to my GitHub code and use it. Reviews, no, this one. Do we have this bar can work? Do we have something similar? No. So this bar can work. Where is it? It's similar to this one, 54321, 54321. We'll get rid of these stars and we'll get rid of these percentage. If we go to code, customer reviews, where is it? This one. So I think this flex can help. Based on these many reviews and inside that. So we need this stuff. Let's see how it looks. Nope. It has. Okay, so this one is incorrect. I copied it incorrectly. We want these DL and all. So let's copy this DD div, copy, go to our overall rating code. I made so many silly mistakes. That's bad. Before I paste this, let me fix all our heading tags. I haven't closed them correctly. Okay, so value is done, location is fixed, communication is fixed, check-in is fixed, accuracy is fixed, cleanliness is fixed, and overall rating. Let's paste this. After DL there is one div, and on top when we pasted this, okay, so I think we have correctly pasted this, copied this. Let's refresh. It looks good. Now let's get rid of these percentages and stars. So percent is for DD, right? So let's get rid of this DD. I remember Dexter and DD cartoon show from this DD. Okay. Div. Anything else remaining? No. Now let's get rid of this star. So 1-star reviews, and after that we have this SVG. Looks good. We have to make it a bit smaller first and then change color. So for making it smaller, first we have to change the spacing. Let's do 1. Maybe that may be more. Let's make it 0 directly. And change text size to something which is really small. I think we support XS. So instead of text SM, we will write XS. We have it 5 times, which is correct. So we'll copy this, paste this, and XS. Sorry, refresh. Size has reduced. This is smaller than the text size. So let's go there. How are they controlling the H3? Find H3. It is 5 times. It is at 5 places. So let's write H1. Sorry, refresh. It looks better. Now we want to get rid of this initial margin. It has very less initial gap between 5 and the bar, and this one has more. So let's fix that. So where is it? Margin left ML1. We can get rid of this. Or ML3. Yeah, instead of ML3 we'll write ML1. Refresh. This has been fixed further. Do we need any further change? Margin top should be reduced. Where is that one coming from? 2. This has been reduced, and we need this to be a black color and a bit darker gray. So instead of BG gray 100, let's use BG gray 200. Refresh. Yeah, background is darker, and instead of this we'll use black. Maybe this looks like black. Let's keep it black only. If we start introducing custom color here, it might get confusing later on. So for that, what is the color? Border yellow 400, and this border BG yellow 400. So instead of that, we'll copy this, paste it here. Instead of yellow 400, we'll write black, and instead of BG yellow 400, we'll again write black. Save, refresh. It looks better. Margin right should be reduced. It's not that, and we should increase its initial padding also. So I think we used PS4. So let's check this. Instead of PS4, why is it showing 6 places? PS6, 6 places is correct. My bad. Refresh, looks better. Maybe increase it further. No. And for this I have to write PR2 class PR2. This gap should get reduced. Yes, it did. Looks much cleaner. Yes, and on smaller screens it goes up to So maybe I can do one thing on a smaller screens. Instead of PS6, we do have these SMLG LG. So for LG we can use PS4 SM PS2. I should start with default PS2 will be default on devices which are greater than as small to medium. We can use it as PS4, and for large devices we can use PS6. Let's try this if this works out. Refresh, looks same. Let's reduce size. The padding has not changed and it has started mixing. Why is it mixing? Because let's add another class inline. Refresh, decrease size. No, inline didn't work. No worries, I won't give too much thought on this. For mobile devices, let's refresh, and on smaller devices we will get rid of these stats. So it should be the second div, right? In show, not in show. In where have we control the visibility? I think in this one. In home we have a mobile menu, right? Or we have deleted that. Show element on large devices only in Tailwind. How to make element invisible in mobile device. Okay, let's see. By the way, my battery is really low and this might be one of the biggest videos. Flex and block. Okay, so let's go to reviews. Hidden block. Refresh. Block is incorrect. Grid, and I have to get rid of this grid. Refresh. On a smaller, this is gone. So I'm satisfied with this. These are all fake data. Now we have to write this correctly. It has been 1 hour video and I know a lot of viewers won't view it, but I have to do it correctly. So yeah, if anyone needs it, that's great. And if you don't want to do this much work in CSS, feel free to directly copy it from my GitHub. This is part 36, so the branch name should be something like RT4914. Project name is Airbnb. You can go to that. It's a public profile, and on that you will find currently it's I pushed code till branch 34 only. Sorry, there should be one more. I have somehow missed branch 35. Sorry, I'm making a mistake here. This will be branch 35, so this will be part 35 reviews template or something like that. That's it for now. Thank you. Bye bye.